Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, going to be talking through some player props I like on Prizepicks for the Week 6 Thursday Night Football game between the Commanders and the Bears. Not the best game this Thursday night. This is definitely not going to be a great primetime game, but I still wanted to try and find some props I like for this one to give you guys that we can all sweat out. I will say that for a Commanders-Bears game, in order for me to actually sit down and watch this game, I'm definitely going to have something to sweat. So I did want to find two picks to give out to you guys. As always, we'll talk through the two picks I like for this game. We'll share why I like them. But before we do get started, as always, guys, please hit that like button down below if you do enjoy these Prizepicks videos and if they do help you out. Hit that subscribe button as well if you have not yet. We're going to be uploading Prizepicks videos all NFL season. Going to be uploading Prizepicks videos for NBA as well. And NBA regular season does start next week on Tuesday. So we're going to have some NBA videos coming out next week. You guys are definitely going to want to be subscribed. Make sure you got those notifications on so that way you never miss out on any of my new videos. And if you're new here and you have not checked out Prizepicks yet, they actually are the sponsor of this video, so you can check them out. Sign up with my promo code NOAH. When you do sign up with my promo code, Prizepicks will match your first deposit up to $100. And again, like Prizepicks, they're more of a player prop based DFS site, so it's very simple, very easy to use. You're just taking the over or the under. You're taking more or less on a player's projection. A lot of projections are already up for Thursday. You can take a look at their board and see all the stuff they have posted. They do already have a lot of props up for Sunday as well, for the full Sunday slate. So you can see the props they have up for Sunday. If there's anything that stands out to you, you can make some entries for yourself. I will be posting some plays I like for Sunday, for the full Sunday slate. I'll probably make that video either Friday or Saturday, and I'll try and get it uploaded then. So definitely check that video out later in the week if you're planning to play some props on Sunday. But real quickly, before we talk through the two props I like for this Thursday night game, do want to recap our plays from Monday night, from the Monday Night Football game between the Raiders and the Chiefs. We gave out two picks for that game, and we hit both of our picks. It was a good night, cashed out on both of our plays. We took the over on Davante Adams' fantasy score, I believe that line was at 17, and Davante Adams had a pretty good game. I will say that it was definitely a little bit sweatier than I thought it was going to be after he caught a 58-yard touchdown right out of the gate to start off the game. And I thought, oh, this is going to be an easy cash. I mean, he had, 13 fantasy points off of one play. But, man, after that 58-yard touchdown, I think he only had, two other catches. And luckily, one of his other catches was another, long touchdown. I think he had, a 48-yard touchdown. So, Davante Adams came through for us. And then Travis Kelce, we might have got a little bit lucky with Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce literally had, 25 receiving yards, but he caught 4 touchdowns. And, sometimes that's going to happen. And, one of the reasons I like taking fantasy scores is because you can kind of get bailed out with touchdowns. And we saw that happen with Kelce. I know a lot of people that took Kelce's over receiving yards, obviously, that didn't come through. But if you took fantasy score, it came through because he caught 4 touchdowns. And that can always happen. You can always, run hot with those touchdowns. So we cashed out on both of our plays Monday night. Hopefully you guys tailed those. But let's talk through this Thursday night game and the two props I'm liking. So we're going to go back to fantasy score. We got one fantasy score prop that I like, and then we have a reception prop that I like. So for fantasy score, we're going to be talking about one of the quarterbacks here. And I'm liking Justin Fields, his over 13.5 fantasy score. And I know this one might seem a little bit risky just because Justin Fields, he's not really played that well this season. If you look over their first 5 games this season, he's only gone over 13.5 fantasy points in 2 out of their 5 games. But last week, he did look pretty good last week against the Vikings. He had over 17 fantasy points. The last few games, the Bears have started to throw the ball a little bit more. One thing with Justin Fields is that he is a dual threat quarterback. He doesn't have to have a great passing game to put up 13 fantasy points or 14 fantasy points. They're going to let him run. He can run for 50, 60, 70 yards. He's always a threat to get a rushing touchdown. He actually did have I think it was a 50-yard rushing touchdown last week, but it actually got called back for holding. So really, Justin Fields should have had 25 fantasy points or 26 fantasy points last week had it not been, that touchdown had got taken off the board. But he's been throwing the ball more. Last 2 games, he's had over 20 pass attempts. He did have over 200 passing yards last week. And he's also had at least 47 rushing yards now in 3 straight games. He's slowly been looking a little bit better. And, Justin Fields, he might be a bad quarterback. I don't want to completely write off Justin Fields yet. I think he's too young for us to just say, oh, he sucks, or, he's going to be really good. He's only been in the NFL for pretty much a year. I mean, he played last season, but he didn't play the full season. And obviously, he's only played 5 games so far this season. This offense is obviously not the best. The Bears' offense is not very good. They don't really put up many points. They're a team that wants to run the ball a lot. But Justin Fields is still a solid quarterback, in my opinion. He does have a lot of rushing upside. And when you're looking at his odds kind of across the board, so he's basically projected for around 170 passing yards. Prizepicks has him at 165. DraftKings Sportsbook actually has Justin Fields. They have his passing yards prop set at 172. So he was projected for 165, 170 passing yards. You look at his rushing yard prop, it's set at 40.5 on DK Sportsbook. His rushing yards, I believe, is set right around there. It's at 41.5. So 170 passing yards, 40 rushing yards. And then you look at his passing touchdowns. Prizepicks, they don't have a passing touchdown prop up for him. But on DraftKings Sportsbook, 0.5 passing touchdowns, so basically to throw one touchdown. Justin Fields is minus 235 to throw at least one touchdown. So he is a massive favorite to at least have one touchdown here. If he throws 160 yards, one touchdown, and has 40 rushing yards, that's like 14.5 fantasy points, just kind of adding the math up in my head quickly. Obviously, assuming he doesn't throw an interception or he doesn't fumble the ball, that would put him at about 14.5 fantasy points. And 160 yards and one touchdown with 40 rushing yards, that feels more than doable for Fields. I mean, over his last 3 games, he's had at least 160 passing yards in 2 straight games. He's had at least 40 rushing yards in 3 straight games. The passing touchdowns have been obviously not great for Fields. He's only thrown 3 touchdowns this year. He does have 1 rushing touchdown. We'll probably need a touchdown for Fields to go over this fantasy score. I mean, I guess he could get there without a touchdown. Like, he could throw for 200 yards and then run for 60 yards. Like, that's possible. We'll probably need a touchdown to get there. But, given that he's a massive favorite to throw at least 1 touchdown, I think Fields can get us more than 13.5 fantasy points here. Like, it does feel like Justin Fields has played at his, absolute floor this season. I think we're going to see some better games from Justin Fields. He's not going to average 10 fantasy points per game the rest of the season. He's going to have some good games down the road. His rushing upside is always going to make him a good fantasy option. It's just that this Bears offense is terrible. They don't let Fields throw the ball a ton. I think this is a matchup where he can definitely have success. The Commanders' defense, especially against the pass, they've not been that great this year. They are allowing just over 19 fantasy points per game to opposing quarterbacks, which is 9th most in the league. And they've already given up 11 passing touchdowns to quarterbacks, which is tied for 2nd most in the league, only behind the Titans and the Chiefs. So I think it's a sneaky good spot for Justin Fields. He's playing at home. I know this game has a low total, but with Fields' ability to run the ball, I think he can get us more than 13.5 fantasy points. This was my favorite prop from the Bears. It was tough to find a ton of props to love in this game, but this was the one that I felt the best about. There's some other guys that you could take a look at, but I like Justin Fields to have more than 13.5 fantasy points here. Basically hoping that he gets 150 yards, 1 touchdown, and 40 rushing yards. That would put him over this projection. And again, I think he can do that. So let's talk about the next prop that I like, and that's going to be a reception prop. We're going to go to Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel is a guy that I've been on a lot this season. He's been crushing for a lot of his props, and his reception prop has been a gold mine this season. He's already hit this in 4 out of 5 games this year. The one game where he did not have 5 receptions, he had 4. He came up just 1 short, but he's gone over this in 4 out of 5 games. And this line is pretty heavily favoring the over right now on DK Sportsbook. So I would not be surprised if you actually do see the Prizepicks bump this line up to 5. Because right now on DraftKings Sportsbook, Curtis Samuel over 4.5 receptions is minus 140. So Prizepicks, they might actually bump this up to 5. I did want to go ahead and get this in while it's at 4.5. We did just get word that both Jahan Dotson and Logan Thomas are going to be out for the Commanders on Thursday night. Both those guys were out last week. And Curtis Samuel did once again lead the team in targets, and he's led the team in targets so far this season. He's been Carson Wentz's number 1 option so far. Through their first 5 games, when you're looking at target share, Curtis Samuel does lead the team with a 22% target share this season. He's averaging 9 targets per game, and he's averaging right around 6.5 receptions per game, or just over 6 receptions per game this year. So he's been putting up some really solid numbers. He's been getting opportunity. He's been playing 85, 90% of the snaps. He's basically an every down wide receiver. And another thing that I like is that Curtis Samuel, a lot of his routes that he runs are low A-dot routes. So what that basically means is that Curtis Samuel, he's not running vertical routes way down the field. He's running a lot of quick slants, a lot of out routes. Those are balls that are easily able to be caught. When you're running quick routes, you're a lot easier. It's a lot easier to get a reception on a quick route than it is on a 50-yard bomb. So I think if Curtis Samuel continues to see 7-8 targets per game like he has all season, pretty likely that he comes away with at least 5 receptions. And given that the sportsbook DK Sportsbook is heavily favoring the over on this one, I like this line at 4.5 quite a bit. This is definitely my favorite prop overall in this game. but on Prizepicks you do have to pair it with something else. So we had to find a pair to go with that, but I would definitely say that the over 4.5 or more than 4.5 receptions for Curtis Samuel is my favorite play from this game. I think this line might actually get bumped up to 5, so definitely wanted to get it in early. It's a line that Samuel has hit pretty much in almost all their games this season except for one. He's been a heavily targeted receiver. He's been Carson Wentz's #1 option, and he leads the team in target share this year. So Samuel is likely to come away with 5 receptions most weeks, assuming he continues to see the 7, 8, 9 targets per game. Again, he's averaging 9 targets per game this year. But that's what I'm liking for this Thursday night football game, guys. We're going to be taking Justin Fields to have more than 13.5 fantasy points, and we're going to be taking Curtis Samuel to have more than 4.5 receptions. Like I said, this was a tough game to find a ton of props that stood out. I think this will be probably a low-scoring game. It should be close. I think right now the Bears are favored by 1. It should be a close game, but it's probably going to be a low-scoring one. But these were the 2 props I felt the best about for this game. Again, if you guys are tailing, I do wish you the best of luck. We did cash out on both of our plays for Monday night, so hopefully we can do it again for this Thursday night game. But as always, guys, thanks for watching these videos. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. If you guys enjoy these videos, hit that like button down below. Hit that subscribe button as well. Also, if you do want more Prizepicks plays from me, I do provide additional Prizepicks plays on Patreon. If you guys want to check out the Patreon, it's linked down below in the description. You can get access to all my additional Prizepicks plays that I'm betting on besides the ones I give out in this video. You can get access to all my other DFS content. You can also get in our Discord chat. That is all available for Patreon members. Check that out if you are interested. And again, if you have not signed up for Prizepicks yet, make sure to sign up and use promo code NOAH. When you do sign up with my promo code, Prizepicks will match your first deposit up to $100. And as always, you can tail the picks I give out in this video. You can take a look at Prizepicks board and make some other entries for yourself. I do want to mention that Prizepicks is running a promo right now. They have Steph Curry. They have a free square set for Steph Curry. They have his points set at 0.5. Obviously, you're going to be taking Steph Curry to have more than 0.5 points. That's for Tuesday night in their season opener against the Lakers. You could obviously pair that pick with these 2 picks if you wanted to. Take advantage of these type of promos. I'm sure Prizepicks is going to be running more promos during the season, but they do have one up for opening night of the NBA season, which again is on Tuesday. But yeah, guys, definitely appreciate you watching the video, supporting the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed. Best of luck tonight, and as always, guys, we will see you in the next one. Peace.